What up, guys? Welcome to episode 52 of Fresh Off the Mats. And 52 means we hit a year.
1 year's old.
1 year of Fresh Off the Mats podcast.
Hell yeah, baby.
So Joseph made I had to tell the people what you made. I don't know what's in it.
I guess you can call it like a brookie type deal. I did graham cracker on the bottom, and then on top of that I used fluff, and then I put cookie dough, and then I went to Trader Joe's and bought this Belgian chocolate, put 1.25 pounds of chocolate on top of
God
it.
damn.
And then the brownie batter.
This shit looks so goddamn good,
Topped
guys.
it
I
with
hope that's coming off.
marshmallows. Yeah, let's just bring
Yeah,
that.
just bring it right there. Be jealous, hoes. Be
Marshmallow
jealous.
and M&M's on top. And I finished 75 hard yesterday.
So guess what?
I
Your
get to have
homie
this.
gets to eat this today. Dude, this thing is like phenomenal. Between you and your wife, like the way you guys bake, delicious. So good. Well, to 1 year,
1 year.
we gotta blow it out. Ready? Woo!
Many more to come, baby.
Hell yeah. 52 weeks. Oh, you couldn't leave that in?
No.
Trying to burn this bitch
I
down?
don't want the wax getting onto it.
I don't want to work on
Shut up. Shut up. Bro, did you see the alien thing or did you not? You didn't
What
hear about
alien
it?
thing?
Bro, look at this shit. Look at this shit. So,
There's a new alien
the
thing?
Mexico
Oh,
Congress.
fucking Mexican aliens.
The Mexican, Jesus Christ. No,
Those
no,
kind of aliens?
no. Mexico released alien corpses that they're saying are about 1,000 years old.
What?
So that's the photos.
No. Come on.
Extraterrestrial fossil remains. Yep. So I don't want to click on show full article because I don't know if it's going to try to get me to pay. But it was a whole thing. Mexico City conspiracies and all that.
Wait a minute. They said they've had them for 1,000 years.
I don't know if it's been 1,000
Or
years.
they're
That's just-
dating them
I think that's
1,000
what's been
years.
dated because look, so 2 small alleged alien corpses retrieved from Cusco, Peru, were presented in windowed boxes in Mexico City on Wednesday, stirring excitement within the U.S. UFO conspiracy theorist community.
Get the fuck out of here.
So
Wait, go
it's
down.
their terrestrial DNA remaining. A
Well, there
third
was-
of their DNA is remaining.
There was a documentary. God damn it. I don't remember. It was a
See.
South American. Yeah, that's creepy as fuck. There was a documentary on this South American country. I don't know if you want to Google it real fast, but it was a documentary where they had a crash landing in their city. It's what their city's known for in South America, for this crash landing. And the guy who handled the body of whatever it came ended up getting like some kind of weird sickness, bacterial infection, ended up dying like 6 weeks later.
Because they couldn't do anything.
And it was a
about
whole thing. Like, they had no idea what it was. They were talking about on Rogan how, like, the guy who handled the body ended up getting super sick, and people came in from the government trying to cover it up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so this one they're saying, like, one of the bodies had eggs in it, and then it's also said to have implants made of very rare metals. One of them has osmium. I don't know metals, so if you're like a chemist or a scientist guy,
And you know,
then you'll know that's apparently a rare metal. But yeah, they're coming out talking about all this. So this was, what was this? He's been, the guy who's coming out about saying this though has been debunked on other findings. So
so it may not be true.
it may not be true. I mean, it's a lot of the things too is also like, what are they trying to hide?
Bro,
why are they
like,
coming out with this right now?
Isn't
Like,
it so convenient that, like, aliens are, like, now the hot button thing? And it's like, people are like, bro, this is how they pass things through.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. It's a cover up for
it's
something.
the
Like,
shiny
what-
object.
What are
Like,
you
look over
doing?
here while we sneak past
Yeah, like
you over
what
here.
is happening now? So like that's what everyone's saying. Like I have my friend group too. Like it's all veterans, and obviously veterans are. Don't know if you guys know this that like to listen and watch. That veterans tend not to be too big of fans of the government. Everyone thinks they are just because
Yeah.
they served in the government, but that tends to lead people astray. Because then you really see like how the government is, and I'm not speaking for all veterans or for the military branch that I was
But
associated
you guys
with.
are close, so
It's
you
just-
know a lot more shit than we do.
well, not even in like where people think like, oh, it's 'cause, like what secrets are there? It's just we see the disorganization, and then we understand like the top down way of thinking, and it's just
But here's my thing. It takes one person to like leak something. So like conspiracy
Yeah. Oh,
theories
yeah.
and shit like that. To have so many people in on a secret and not
It's impossible.
one person
yeah, it's
give it up.
Yeah,
That's what always trips me up. Is like, oh, the government knows. Oh, they have all these secrets. I'm like, you're telling me there's not one dummy
So-
in the government, one person with loose lips
Now-
that talks too much?
Now, what I will say for things like that, like so, the job I had we have certain clearances, right? Like there's certain things that I can't talk about with the job that I did, and we swear in under, like we get read in, and we understand that it's a 25-year time span, right? And the reason why they say 25 years, because after 25 years, usually that information has already been released, it's already been declassified, or things have changed so drastically that I can leak anything and it'll be like, okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. So that's where a lot of people don't understand. So these older guys that come out talking about things, most of the time it's most likely after their read-in date or their read-in date, and it just doesn't matter. Like, it's like, all right, cool, thanks for sharing, you're outdated. Now the stuff is already way advanced past what they saw, but it kind of gives it a good perspective. But then there's also that other aspect. Yes, a lot of people might know the information. What I will say, at least from the guys I served with, and obviously I can't speak for everyone that gets TS type of clearances and information, the guys I worked with we followed that regulation of certain things that you just don't share. Like, we just won't go into detail. Like, if someone asked me the type of weapons we had, I won't tell you. No, we had standard issue. I could say standard issue. Now, if you understand what standard issue meant, yeah, it's very broad. You're not getting details from me. Like, oh, yeah, we have this, but I'm not telling you how many people we have on post, the amount of posts, how much ammo, right? That's the stuff. You won't get details out of people, and this is where I think conspiracies come from, because you've heard of the game Telephone, right?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, watch what happens. I can whisper to you, hey, fucking red, yellow, blue. You're going to go over there, blue, yellow, red. Yeah. And then it's going to become green, purple, black. Like, whatever. By the end of it, it's not even the same colors anymore. So that's my issue with conspiracy theories, is there's always, yes, it starts off with the truth, but by the end it's like, dude, where's the truth? Yeah, exactly. Like, where's the truth? Okay, so the truth was I talked about colors, but the colors were completely wrong. And so that's where the issue is in my opinion, with all these conspiracy theories. There may be some truth to it, but how accurate did it stay?
Dude, it's always amazing to me when, like, people are like, I know, and I'm like, do you know? Like, do you really know? There's so many conspiracy theories, like, and I granted, I think they all have a shred of truth, but I don't think anybody truly knows. Like, it's too tough. Until you get it from the source, it's too tough. Like you said, that game of Telephone is so ongoing, and it could change just from the source to the next person.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be 10 people deep.
No.
Yeah, the game of Telephone is just, it could change from person to person.
Yeah, seriously. It's just that, but that's my biggest issue with conspiracy theories. It's like, you can't prove it.
No.
Like, until, like, the whole JFK thing. You know what blew me away is, like,
yeah, but you know what bothers me though? Like, this whole until you could prove it is so much time passes that even the truth is not the truth anymore. Like, you know how, like, the JFK files, they're like, we're not going to release the documents until 50 years later.
Yeah.
And then it got pushed to 70 years later.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it got released at it. Because Trump came out and released it. Oh, but
but even when it does finally get released 70 years later, the truth of, like, you know what I mean? Like, things changed so long in that time that even the truth is not really 100% the truth, because some of the things are not as accurate anymore.
That, and also people just don't care. Like, look what happened when it finally
released.
released.
But they purposely do that so that people don't care anymore.
No, that's it.
If you told somebody today,
they literally came out
we released that alien shot JFK, they'd be like, okay.
All right, yeah, probably.
We don't care.
Makes sense.
But if you told somebody that 5 years after the JFK, it was aliens that did this, people would be like, what the fuck? Like, people would lose their shit because it was so hot button back then. Today, people are like, all right, we're so dissociated from that time period. It doesn't matter.
Ago, yeah. But that's what I mean. Like,
it's done on purpose.
I also think that's also a good thing. It controls, because, I'm sorry, a person is smart, people are dumb. When the mob mentality is a proven, known thing where you can get a group of people that aren't planning to commit crimes. One person starts committing a crime and it becomes a domino effect of crime.
Yeah.
It's a mob mentality, and it's a hive mindset. No matter how much people like to think that we are not animals, humans are animals. We're an advanced species because we can speak. But whales have communication, dolphins have communications, monkeys have communication, tigers,
I understand, but I feel like the truth, even though this mob mentality thing is real, and I think it is dangerous, I think knowing the truth when it happens is very important, as opposed to getting it telephoned 70 years later.
I think the issue is like riots. Not like that's the problem. Look what happens when people get information right now. Even if they tell the truth, if the mob doesn't agree with it, riot.
Yeah.
If it is the truth, and the mob was like, we were fucking right.
I just don't like that it's like, I just don't like that we don't get to decide who makes this decision. Like, it's the government that makes the decision of, no, we're gonna play parent right now and
I
not
love
tell
the
you this
play.
for 50
They're
years.
Like, you voted for us. Yeah, like you are. We represent you as
Like
the people.
you know how many people like were around for this JFK thing and have passed away and they never got to know the truth.
Yeah,
Like they
who
never
actually
got to
took-
know.
The fact that they came out, they were like, yeah, the CIA did it.
But
The
there
CIA
were
backed it.
there
It's
were
crazy.
people that like dedicated their lives to finding this out and they passed away 10, 20 years ago and never got answers. Like for me, I don't know. I have this fear of missing out, so like this kind of bothers me if I don't get the answers I need and then later on it came out, it would bother me.
And that sucks. But that's also where I see. I don't have that though. Like where I'm like, all right, if I miss out, I'll miss out. Like, because my biggest thing is like, bro, it's out of my control. I can't control if I'm gonna figure out the information or not.
I understand, but those people who dedicate their lives to trying to figure it out, it's a big feel bad.
And
It's like trying to dedicate like I don't like FOMO. I need to be around for things. I want to see PlayStation 20. I know it's gonna come out sometime down the future, but I want to be around for it.
I want to see PlayStation.
I'm jealous that like my great grandkids are gonna see PlayStation 20 and I'm not gonna see that shit. You know what I mean?
You don't even play video games like that.
I want to be around. Like I want to be around for like the Magic set that comes out like 20 years from now, 30 years from
You're
now.
only 30, Joe.
I understand, but 50 years from now, 100 years from now, when they do Magic's, they just had their 30th anniversary. When they do their 100-year anniversary, I want to be around for that, and I know I'm not going
70
to.
years.
Yeah, I know I'm not going to be around for
Hey,
that.
dog, you'll be 103.
I know.
You
I
can
want
do
to
it.
be around for
You
that.
can do it. Just
I'll
get
be
stem cells.
97.
70 years. You just said they did their 30.
They just did their 30th. 70 years
70
from.
years is 100.
I understand. The game came out in 1993. I was born in 1991. Oh yes, you're right. 100. I'll be 103. Yeah. Sorry.
I think this is the second time on video that like you try to get me and like I was right on the math.
Okay. Like we're not always. Like this guy hasn't made fucking mistakes or been tired in 52 episodes. Suck a dick. Anyways, in 52 episodes, do you know? I checked out today the data. We've had 25,000 plays on YouTube. You know what that means?
No.
Divided by 12 months, on average, we get 2,000 views a month on
Hell
all our
yeah, dude.
videos.
Thank
Like
you,
when you
guys.
think about like when you
Wow.
look at, that's why you can't go by subscribers, because like right now I think we have like 82, 83 subscribers on YouTube, but when you go by the numbers of it
We're getting a
and
lot
views, that's 2,000 views a month, like between like the shorts and like the videos. So like 2,000 views a month for a fresh new podcast, I think is pretty solid.
Thank you, guys.
Now, granted, it's one person obviously watches a short, another short, and a video, so that's 3 views. But still, 2,000's a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. At the end of it, it's
25,000
Bro, it's only
views.
we've only had 52 episodes. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't start even getting that big until they're like what,
Couple of years in.
100 to 200 deep. Like,
Yeah.
we appreciate you guys. We really do.
Consistency is key,
Yeah,
for sure.
That's very
When
true.
you consistently do it,
We talk
I
about
think
this all
that's
the time,
what-
boys.
but it's such a fact of life in every aspect, whether it's working out, podcasting, whatever it is. If you could remain consistent over time, I think you have a greater chance of reaching out to more people because they appreciate the consistency. People don't want to start a
It's
show.
a guessing game.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
don't want to start a podcast and they're like, oh, episode 1 came out 2 weeks ago and episode 3 comes out in 7 months. And next thing you know,
guy I listen to, and I love listening to him. And I
Yeah.
get it. He's a business owner. He runs his companies. Like he has, I forget how many companies he has. And I love listening to him. The stuff he talks about, it's awesome.
yeah,
But he's not consistent. But I get it. A lot of businesses, podcast is probably the last thing on his mind to dedicate that time to. But it sucks because then, like, when he does release it, I save it. So I don't jump on it right away because I'm like, let me stack up 2 or 3 so then I can listen to the new back to back. Because I don't know why. That's what I like. I like listening to when it's new. I don't want to listen to it, re-listen. And I don't mind re-listening to it, but that's my
see,
issue.
I'm not like that. I'm like the mass amount of people where like the
immediate.
podcasts I listen to, I want consistency. Like I've followed.
No, that's what I
podcasts
mean. Yeah,
before.
I have way others that are consistent.
Yeah, I've had podcasts before where like they do one a week and then they skip a week and then they skip another week and next thing you know it's a guessing game of when's the new episode gonna come out. Like it's not consistent and I just dropped that podcast after a while. Your Mom's House Joe Rogan, these are consistently coming out on a timetable, so it's easier for me to consume them because I can plan it out better and be like, oh, I know when I go to the gym today, I know I'm gonna have a New Year Mom's House episode to listen to while I'm working out.
Yeah, I have like the Daily Stoic. He's literally every day, Daily Stoic, every single day. And then I have who else? Andy Frisella with the Real AF.
I give credit to people who could do a daily podcast. That's like Joe Rogan. That's hard, dude.
I think it's more so like I feel like they have to stack it. You think it's a new thing every day?
No, I'm sure he films like 3 on Monday,
right? Like he's filming
3 on Wednesday, and then he just spreads them out. It's still tough to do.
Oh yeah, because like you get mentally exhausted.
Yeah.
Like that, like
and you realize, oh my god, I'm gonna have 3 different conversations. Each are gonna be 2-3 hours each. That's a lot.
And they're deep conversations. They're not like, and he has to like intellectually still be aware the whole time. Like that's the thing. He can't just sit there.
It's a mental workout.
Okay. Right, like he's aware, and people don't understand that. It's like, it's just like socializing, man. Like socializing it's a true skill. Like people don't really get that. Like to stay social, to stay on top of that game. I tell people all the time, like when it comes to social media, bro, like people nowadays, especially older people, love shitting on kids that run social media pages. Like, do you understand? Like, that person is working 5, 8, 10 hours, and they're just like, all they're doing is recording themselves. They're editing videos. They're staying on top of their subscribers. They're reaching out to they're reaching out to their followers. They're uploading good, and the thing is, they're not uploading a fucking picture that's this close, blurred out. They're investing in high quality cameras, taking good photos, making sure that they're staying on top of algorithms. Like people don't look at that because they don't want.
People don't understand.
They see that it's a different job than theirs. I think
it is a very different job, and I'm not gonna lie. I used to be the guy beforehand. Like I used to be like, oh man, what kind of job is being like a social media darling or being an influencer? So I used to shit on it all the time. But let me tell you.
Then you did it.
Since we started doing this podcast a year ago, so I do the editing for the podcast. Then
Joe does most of the work. I will say that. I'm here.
Bro, and honestly, the podcast is not so bad. The hardest part for me for editing for our podcast is the clips. Yeah. That's the hardest part because I have to find 60 seconds of like content
of a good
and sometimes what happens is we talk about a good topic, but we talk about it for 3-4 minutes at a time. That's when it gets complicated because I have to take this 3-4 minute chunk and I have to file it down to like 60 seconds. So like I'll take 20 seconds when you talked here and 20 seconds when I talk here, and then when you said this funny thing, and then when I said this thing, and I have to condense like a 5-minute good conversation where we'll talk about a lot of good shit in that 5 minutes, but I have to squeeze it into 1 minute because YouTube only allows 60-second shorts. Instagram's a little more lenient. You could do like 90.
Yeah, you can come up to a 90-second.
Yeah, but like 60 seconds is tough, man. Like you think about, and like I've got it. I'm gonna tell you, the podcast has helped me in the aspect of for like editing, in the aspect of I cut out things like ums and likes and long pauses, because you realize how valuable, like if I go and like it takes like 5 seconds to get something out, as opposed to, hey, I cut this part out, that saves me 5 seconds, that allows me to insert this part where Joseph says this and this. And like you cut out all the bullshit along the way. It's very hard to do. So I give people a lot of credit because between the podcast, between trying to run the gym's Instagram and trying to make like fancy videos and photos, which I'm not the best at, but trying to do that, it's like sharpening those skills of learning how to do that. And then my own personal, like for my magic shit, for my fitness stuff. So it becomes a lot tougher.
You should get this app.
Which
Lightroom.
It's an editing app?
It's a photo editing app. It's phenomenal.
I've been using InShot. I don't know. Have you ever used that one?
I used InShot a while ago, but now I only for editing. So it doesn't. I think you could do like photo edits, but it's not video.
Is it just
it's for photos?
It's only photos.
See,
a lot of my stuff is more video based.
I think if you buy the pro version, I don't know because you don't need the pro version to edit photos.
Yeah.
And it's really nice because like you can get really in tune with it and do like stuff like on Keith's level where he's probably having to adjust
like resolutions.
Yeah.
See, with photos, I keep it very basic with like what I do as far as like on Instagram, what do you call that top button? Not the filters, that top one that like brightens things up a little bit and like makes it a little more sharp.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got like a magic stick.
I know what you're talking about.
I use that, and I use the filters on Instagram
It's
for
like the
photos.
auto fixes it.
Yeah. For Instagram is good for like the photos that I do because I don't do crazy like mess with
Well,
saturations
that's the nice part
and
of
shit.
Lightroom. You can they have I think it's like 20 or 30 different edits, and you just kind of select. So like there's always one that I kind of go to. It doesn't make things monotone, but it kind of darkens it out. It's just like the look that I like.
Yeah.
So whenever I post certain photos, that's what I go for.
Yeah.
And I click it, boom, it turns my whole photo, and then I kind of do slight adjustments to contrast, shadowing, and things like that. Very slight, nothing like fancy where it's because the fancy one it's wavelengths and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's ones where like there's like a bunch of levers
Yeah.
and you have to like pull it down here and pull it up here.
And
I don't do
adjust
crazy
it.
shit like that.
Shit,
That shit is hard, dude.
I used to do that, and I will say my photo quality. Like if you go back on my page, you would have to go back 4 years now. If you go back 4 years on my page, back in 2019, 2020, when I was very active, this is where I grew my Instagram from like 300. I went up to the 1100, 1200, wherever I'm at now. And that's how I grew. And it was literally just by posting really good photos that caught the eye. But it took me, I was daily practicing how to get
Dude,
these
it's
adjustments.
tough. Like for me, the photo editing, I keep it as basic as possible. Like I said, maybe I put a little bit of filter touching on it, but nothing like in depth like you were doing with like levers.
Yeah.
I think the coolest thing I did with a photo one time was there were a bunch of color belts on the mat, and I took a photo of like all the belts on the mat, and then I made it black and white, and I erased the black and white that was over
And
the
you had
belts,
the colors?
so it just had the colors of the belts.
That's dope.
That's as technical as I'll get with photo editing. The video editing is more because I think like videos are just hot right now, where like people want to see
They are,
reels and
yeah.
shorts.
Even Instagram tried to come out saying how the owner, he like not the owner, but like the manager of Instagram or whatever.
Is saying
that
more
is,
video based and stuff.
he wants to try to bring it back to photos because he was like, that's where we were.
Yeah,
But
well,
now-
because it was supposed to be your photo album.
Yeah.
Instagram was supposed to be your digital photo
Remember
album.
the original Instagram was like the brown box.
Yeah,
with the photo
like
and all.
people like, you know, back in our day in the 90s,
When it
my
first
mom
came
had a
out.
bunch of photo albums and you would slide your photos in there. Now Instagram is your digital photo album where you scroll through all your stuff.
People realize immediately you can make a business off of it. Because
Oh,
it used
yeah.
to be the follow for follow, share my page, I'll share yours.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was right once Instagram popped up, dude. It was immediate.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Like there are people that I don't follow. Pretty sure I don't follow them anymore, but I probably do. They're just way back then. But it's like the OG Instagram like influencer people before it was like a known thing that jumped on that train.
Yeah.
Every single one of them I saw are rich.
Oh, yeah.
Because they took full advantage. They got the quick sponsorships.
Well, that was like
and all it
Vine
was
too.
just show off
Remember
grabs.
people who were Vine stars?
Yeah.
They were good at those 6-second clips.
Bro, and some of them are famous now.
And then Vine shut down, and a lot of them were like, "Oh fuck, we got to jump to the next thing and adapt." So like, it's always going to
Which
be
is
this
also-
evolution
that's
of
also
social
what I
media.
hate when people shit on these influencers. Like their adaptability to figure out what's popping.
You know why
is
people?
huge.
You know why people shit on them? Because there's the ones that consistently do and become successful, like those, and then there's your 10-second darlings. And I think people really shit on those, like those one-dimensional, like the Catch Me Outside girl. She's one-dimensional. She had one good catchphrase. She capitalized on it for a little while. Then she got into, OnlyFans, and she's very
She
successful
got into
with that.
rap first.
Rap and
She got into
OnlyFans.
rap, then went into OnlyFans.
So
On her
actually,
first
I
day,
guess you
forgot how
can't
much she
consider
made.
her. I guess you can't consider her a 10-second darling because she found a way to continuously. But you know who I'm talking about, right? Those people who had a moment of fame from one video or one meme, and then they were one-dimensional. They had nothing after that.
The shoes kid. Like the Vans kid. I think he had the white Vans. Fuck, what was his name? Kyle? No. Damn. He went on Ellen, and Ellen ended up giving him, and then Vans ended up sponsoring him for life. He's able to get Vans and skateboards. But all it was just like something with like coming back with the van. Damn, this was like back in 2016 or some shit.
There's been a ton where like they're just one-dimensional. And the thing is, if you can't find a way to adapt and not be one-dimensional, you're gonna drown.
Yeah.
And the problem is these guys get so used to that one moment in the fame, and the second they start drowning, they panic and like they do stupid things. They
I
get
just
into
saw I
dumb
saw
shit.
someone like that. I found their Instagram. I have no clue how I found it, but he's a Hawaiian, I think rapper. I think he was supposed to be. He got like some nominations that are like in Hawaii or like their Grammys basically.
Mm-hmm.
But now like I saw a song that he released and he was saying how he's like last year I was popping, able to do whatever, and now I'm back to
Struggling to get
Yeah,
by.
now I'm like scrubbing
Bro.
like the toilet
And the
floors.
thing is, if you're like, what do they call them, like
One hit wonder.
one hit wonder, bro. Listen, sometimes some people are no hit wonders. There's nothing wrong with being a one hit wonder, but realize that if you can't capitalize and keep that momentum going, that you have to have backup plans.
And
Trust me, I would love to be a one hit wonder in anything.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
15 minutes in the spotlight and that's it. It is what it is, but you have to find a way to consistently keep that going. If you cannot, you have to have backup.
And I think there's
plans.
also that realization, because a lot of people also, because it's a self investment. You're over here investing a lot of your time and energy into something. So when that one hit wonder does hit, people overestimate themselves, I think, a bit, and they think that they're going to be worth a lot more than what they actually are. So like the whole being independent, especially like, let's say rappers, right? Being an independent rapper is huge because you get to control your money.
Yeah.
It also means you have to handle your advertisements, your marketing.
Yeah.
You're handling your contract deals with like stadiums to get music, seeing bigger artists, trying to reach out to these guys. You're your own agent. Like, you're not signed onto a record label.
Well, it's like country. Did you hear that country guy, the redheaded guy with the beard?
Yeah,
he did that song recently where the video's him in the woods. He's not signing to any labels. He's
but
like,
he also
I
said
want
he
to.
didn't want any money.
Yeah.
He got offered like $8 million, and he was like, I want to go back to the woods.
Yeah, but there's plenty. He was on Rogan and stuff. There's plenty of ways to capitalize, but I think people get so caught up in like, bro. I think the worst thing you could do is not be a representative for yourself.
Yeah.
I heard something about do you know Johnny Carson, the guy who did the Tonight Show a long time ago?
Yeah.
He was like the OG guy. Do you know they were selling merch with his name and all this stuff? He was getting zero royalties for that for a while. It wasn't until a lawyer years later was like, hey, bro, like, you realize, like, you're just a model for them. Like, you're not seeing any residuals from all this stuff.
No.
So if you're
You should
not
be
good
getting
with your
something.
money, yeah, but the thing is, if you're not good with your money, you don't know how you're being managed, you could end up losing out on a lot. That guy should have been way richer than he ended up being. Not saying he wasn't rich, but it's because he caught it in time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
If he was a 10-second darling, one-hit wonder, bro, it would have came, gone, and someone else would have made money off
what
of you.
the Catch Me Outside girl did.
Yeah.
I think she like labeled that as her because people were using her face for the meme, and then they were using that catchphrase.
Yeah.
And so she ended up having an agent. People saw it immediately, reached out to her.
Yeah.
And then she was able to.
You got to be
capitalize
so
on that.
careful. Like, when it comes to, like, managing your money, bro, you got to be making a cut of things. You got to be able to stay on top of stuff. You can't just be the guy who's like, oh, I did this thing and now I'm famous and I hand it off to some guy. No, you got to stay on top of that shit, bro. People stealing from you,
Yeah.
dude. It's too crazy, man.
I mean, people shit on Disney all the time, but Disney will send out cease and desist on anyone.
Hell yeah, bro.
Like, they
you
don't
can't
give a shit.
fuck
They're
with
like, these
Disney.
guys-
Disney's bulletproof.
these guys
We're
are-
going to get a
these guys
cease
are
and assist for this
billionaires.
podcast just for talking about
Yeah,
them.
like that. But that's like how they are, dude. It's a billion, trillion-dollar company, whatever the fuck they are.
And they keep an eye on their shit.
On everything.
On all their product, bro. Some company in Louisiana starts making mouse in a suit standing up.
Yeah.
Hey, cease and assist. Too likely to Mickey
Yep.
Mouse. Too close.
Exactly.
Bro, they don't fuck
They don't
around.
play. And people trying to get mad about it. But the thing is, like, they are serious about their income and making sure, because
They're serious about their brand being under their
I was about to
control.
say that it's not even about the income, because people only see it about the money. It's like, no, because if you represent, because that minor little representation, even if it wasn't, you are a representative of that brand now.
And the
Whether-
thing is,
like,
if they let them slide, then next thing you know, this
Another
little
guy
guy
slides.
slides, this
Another
little
guy
guy
slides.
slides. Next thing you know, all these people underneath you are seeping from your business and your brand when it should be 100% yours.
Exactly.
Bro, you gotta stay on top of your shit. That's why, like all my magic videos, I make sure, like, because now I do a front-facing camera to video me as I'm opening it. But before, it used to be just my hands and stuff as I was cracking packs. Bro, I used to always make sure that my tag was underneath it, inside the video somewhere, because there are people out there that they'll screenshot your video, voice over it, and pretend like it's them opening up packs.
Yep.
Like, they'll literally do none of the work, investing none of the time opening the packs. They'll just screen grab your video of you opening up a pack of cards, put their voice over it, put their reactions over it, and then put it on their channel and be like, no, this was me opening up the pack. Bro, it gets shady as fuck just
You'll
like
see
that,
people
dude.
on Instagram that do it all the time. Fake pages of people. I have plenty of people that I know that People just make fake pages.
Oh, they
about
steal
them.
memes from each other. All the gym accounts we follow, they steal memes from each other back and forth. I even see sometimes when like the Gains post something, some other fitness page will steal the Gains meme and they'll like try to scratch out the Gains watermark. Yeah.
Like to me, I'm like, why? Like, what is the issue?
Because the Gains takes the time to invest in their memes and do their social media thing. And all it takes is for some schmuck to screen grab or screen record whatever they posted.
I'm saying on like
and steal their work easy.
I'm like, why can't you just give the original guy that
because they want to take the credit for
it. But it blows me away for that. I'm
it's like what do you call what's it called when you copy someone's work in school? No, plagiarism. It's digital plagiarism.
Yep.
That's what it is. It's fucking creepy, dude.
It is. That's what it is. Or you don't know what it is creepy. So.
And the thing is, it's not such a big offense because people are like, oh, so you stole. So this gym page sold this gym page's meme. Who cares? I just want to see the meme, laugh, chuckle, and send it to friends. But it's actually digital plagiarism.
Well, a lot and that's also the thing. A lot of people think about those things and they just look at that like nothing. These pages get a lot. Like they get a lot of followers and a lot of content, and those pages become value. What people don't understand is like, have you ever followed a Facebook page and then it all of a sudden changed? You're like, I never followed this page, but then you click on it and you realize that the page was different now.
Yeah.
It's because it got bought out. Most of the time, the page got bought out.
Yeah, when they had a lot of followers,
if they have 1 million followers, someone reaches out like, "Yo, I'll buy your page. I'll take."
Actually,
over
I noticed
everything.
that this week where I was like, I don't remember following this page, and then I was like, as I scrolled down, I was like, this used to be a different page.
So most likely to get bought out. So that's what people don't realize is. It's not always about just having to make some physical sort of like talking content or anything. If I build a following and I get 1 million followers on an Instagram page and then I sell it to someone that says that they want it, I make a big profit off of it because I built my page.
Yeah.
And that they don't have to do that legwork. And even if they lose 50%, you're reaching out 500,000 people. Yeah. Like, and just keep looking at it in that way. Now that's 500,000 people. You put a link up. Hey, buy this stuff for me.
If you get 10%
buy, you just had 50,000 people fucking buy product off of you. If you sold it for $1, that's $50,000.
Yeah. And
that's like, this is why people don't look at that distant. They just are like, well, it's just social media. Yeah. Bro, social media is a business now. It's no longer just like jump off the phone. I'm telling you,
I was one of these people, I swear, I'm going to be completely honest. I used to shit on influencers and all these. And I used to be like, oh, come on. So you take a photo, you make a post. What does it take, 10 seconds of your day? Bro, when you have to deep dive and edit and video and this and
then you also realize that
there are times I realize I spend 4 hours a day just editing videos between a fitness video, a gym jiu-jitsu video, the podcast short, a magic short. Just those 4 videos alone that are only a minute each, they could take like an hour each just to get the proper editing down for that. It's fucking tough.
And that's what people, and that's why I always say it. Like, give it a shot, go try, and then what they'll realize they won't even say the right things because then they'll go on their content and be like, oh yeah, I posted my picture and they say nothing. I'm like, that doesn't attract anything. One
thing I gotta say though is like, hire an editor if you want to hire an editor, but if you have the time, because listen, if you have the time, it's such a valuable skill, and it's been so nice to be like, oh, I edit my videos like this. I should really do it like this. You develop a skill. It's a skill set to learn how to edit and post and like do the proper cuts and timing. Like I said, man, I would have never thought like, oh, a minute video, I got to cut out when I say or like and stuff. But when you learn how to do that over time, it is a skill set.
It's cool. And it's also nice to just know and then
learn something new.
Yeah, go out and learn something
new. Go out and learn something new.
Our birthday, we want you learning some shit.
Go learn something new. Write in the comments about something you learned new recently.
That'd be dope.
And to another year. We'll see you guys next week for episode 53. Wipe your dirty buttholes.